duel in the Lone Star State. It's the football team and the Texans, and it's coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Washington football team and the Houston Texans. And we are underway from NRG Stadium in Houston. No run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25. So out comes the Washington offense onto the field. And a glance here at the man calling the plays under center, their 6'4" quarterback.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
Rypien on 1st and 10. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Clark. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete.
Let's go, boys. I like it. I like it. I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so, and gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
To throw it is Rypien. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line. Well short of the first. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
Washington going to send out their punter. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And a glance here at their quarterback standing 6'3".
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator say right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
Mixon gets the nod to start the drive. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Operating from the gun. Stroud. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you make curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, it's almost football 101 that you preach to your safeties. Don't let anyone get behind you. You're the last line of defense. But he didn't let the play come to him. He went to the play. How about that read and recognition and finishing off that one behind the line of scrimmage?
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Looking to throw. Stroud. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, Stroud. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Collins. Their opening drive here is going to result in a punt. They got 7 yards there, but not enough.
If you run an out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on in the end zone for a touchback. Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
From the gun, he'll hand this off. And some room to roam now. And he will finally be taken down, but not before he reaches the 38. 46 yards rushing for him now on just his first 3 carries. No score after 1 on EA Sports. So Washington with the football here to begin quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Here's Rypien. Quick hitter here. It's complete. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. And to give this time to the tailback. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line. And the corner blitz gets him that time as he goes down for a short loss. So that was a very nice play, Charles, from a very speedy cornerback.
And that is a situation where in the defender's mind, you just have to pick a point on the football field and think to yourself, I'm going to sprint full out and meet him at that point. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't, but he had to play diagnosed perfectly there.
And his top speed, as computed by next-gen stats, not bad. He was pushing 20 miles an hour. Now they'll run it on the toss. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. Now Rypien. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out.
That's a letdown defensively because they had him stacked up 3rd and long, and you know their thought process had to be just make the tackle in front of the sticks and force the 3. Instead, they allowed him room to run, and now they're facing 1st and goal, looking to regroup.
From the 8, they've got it 1st and goal. Rypien to pass. And it's caught. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
And now 3rd and goal coming up, the loss on 2nd down. That just means this crowd's going to get even louder, and they'll get a little bit of extra help from the defenders as they exhort them to join them in the effort.
Now from back at the 5, this is 3rd and goal. From the gun, Rypien. This is caught. Touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Extra point attempt to follow here. It's good, and Washington will take a 7-0 lead. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And the result, a touchdown for Washington. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a first down. Throwing to start the drive. Stroud. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35.
Well, they obviously red man covers their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender. Made him
what do you mean by that?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. Now a throw here, hauled in to the 40 and no further. So the broken tackle didn't get him much. That catch good for only a couple. It's hurry-up mode time for the Texans, hustling up to the line. Looking to throw on second down. Stroud. He's got the hook up with Diggs. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. On third down, Stroud. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big... I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play, with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was...
Come on now, let's go!
After review of the play, ruling on the field is reversed.
So that challenge, a successful one. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. And his pass incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They'll look to throw again. And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up 3rd. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Back to throw. Stroud. Throw left side complete. That's Schultz. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. The Texans send the punter out as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Washington going to go on offense now late in this first half. And they may be content to take this 7-0 lead into the locker room. We'll see. Now Rypien on 1st and 10. And Sanders has got it complete. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. They'll set up to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. The Texans here on 3rd down, putting an extra defender in the secondary. Rypien looks to throw it again. He's going to let this one go deep. And the defense loses him. It's complete.
Let's go.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A big connection on that one. 38 yards.
We always talk about the guy who paid off the play, don't we? A guy who caught it or ran it. But how about the elements that go into making a big play? This one in particular, able to scan the field. Pocket held up nicely. What a terrific job by the offensive line. The route, well run, and the football, right on the money.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
So many times we've seen him try to escape the pocket and do something with his legs, but in this case, the pressure was too intense and he made the wise choice to just get rid of the football and make sure no one was going to get it.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. As Sanders has it poked free, and the Texans scoop it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And they will not really have time to do much of anything. 15 seconds, all that remains before halftime. A little bit of space there for the first down run, as that's going to get them about 5 yards. So we've reached halftime with just the lone touchdown here. 7-0 is our score. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slim...
And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it.
First up, though, let's take a look at the next-gen stats from that first half for Washington. And even though they've got a halftime lead, they're likely devising ways as we speak to try and get a little more production from their passing game.
The Texans down on the scoreboard, but they do get the first crack here as we are back underway in the second half. And he will not bring it out. It's a touchback. For the Texans getting ready to go here to begin the third quarter. Now, they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
Throwing on first down. Stroud, and that's off the mark, incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again, 2nd and 10 from the 25. A handoff, running left, Mixon. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
An extra man here in the secondary for Washington on third down. Looking to throw. Stroud to Mixon on the check down. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
The Texans send the punter out as he's on here to punt it away. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. First possession of the second half now for Washington. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. Looking to throw on first down is Rypien. His throw incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Hands it off out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
They will throw on 3rd down with Rypien. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. And he's going to come up a few yards short of the first. They get him to the ground at the 37. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Washington going to send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Amazing. Perfectly placed. If that ball goes 1 extra yard, maybe not even an extra yard, the starting point is the 20.
So there is a reason that a lot of punters are also excellent golfers. They know distance control. You know what else they have? Same groove motion over and over. Once they have that down, it repeats under pressure.
On 1st down, it's Pierce, and he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
And give him a lot of credit there, but even more credit to the guys up front. In that situation, you know it's going to be a stacked defensive front, and to be able to gain that much yardage, that's a big win for the guys on offense.
Yeah, they were just about standing on their own goal line, so to get a few yards there, a great start. Now we'll see what 2nd down brings. They go again with Pierce. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on 1st down.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And that will be incomplete.
What we've seen so far in this game, they're not going to allow a big shot over the top. You can have whatever you want underneath. They'll give you that, but they're not going to let you beat them deep.
The Texans send the punter out. He's been terrific so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Now a fair catch taken just across midfield, maybe by a yard or 2. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
Well, another drive coming up for this Washington offense.
This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there.
Big play! Big play!
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
Now a handoff as they run left side. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. A great play there. 29 yards.
And Washington going to add on to their lead. Well, we've said it many times. He is always a threat to go the distance anytime he's got the ball in his hands. And on this occasion, he did just that.
Well, he's definitely the guy that makes this offense go. And when you're an RB1, running back one, you've got to be willing to be patient at times as well. Not every run's going to be the home run we saw there. But once you get that opportunity and that opening, you take full advantage.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make the score 14-0.
Texans nothing.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
Let's go. Let's go.
Houston's offense taking over again.
These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
54. Mike, 54. Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant. Go. Right there. 54, Mike. Watch the curl. Watch the curl.
On 1st and 10, Stroud. He finds his target. It's Schultz. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his second catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their third corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
Not a whole lot of room to run. Gets it to the 35 after showcasing the great move. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2. Operating from the gun. Stroud. That's complete. It's Collins.
And he is going to have a Texans first down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches.
Gotta say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
On 1st down, Stroud. That's going to go as a loss of 7, and it'll set him back for 2nd down. Is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Houston. It's Texans football, but they trail here as we get started in the 4th quarter. To throw on 2nd down. Stroud.
On a slant, here's Collins.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
57's the mic. Watch 57.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Another one caught by Collins. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
Good yardage on the completion there. And when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Same result as last play, 14 yards and another first down.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Oh, yeah. And here we go again. Here we go again.
Back to throw again. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think a guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a tire breakdown on what the coverage was. Everyone thought they were doing something, and they were supposed to be doing something else. But bottom line is, no matter what, you have to know where he is and cover him on every play.
Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. Now here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. They'll contain him to just 4, 2nd down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
They'll look to make it 3 for 3 on 3rd down conversions. They need a yard here.
Let's go, D.
From the gun, Stroud. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And the Texans are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as they find a way to convert there on 3rd and 1. And a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
And they've got 3 tight ends here on 1st and goal to add some extra mass. They'll try to run this one in. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Taking it in from 2 yards out.
Right down there.
And the Texans are finally on the board here in the 4th quarter. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a 1-score game here in the 4th.
And that's what these guys have done all game long because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
And now remember, all touchdowns are reviewed, and in a tight game like this, they're going to take a good long look at it. Is this a touchdown? That's the question. CD, what are they looking for here?
You just need any part of the football to break the plane. You don't need the whole football. It doesn't need to go over the entire white line. It's just that front part of the white line. And if you draw an imaginary plane going straight up, that's what they need to cross.
After review of the play, the rules on the field is reversed.
So take away the touchdown. The officials rule he did not get the football to break the plane. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Mixon. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A great effort there. Taking it in. And the Texans have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get them over the goal line.
Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. And that one makes it 14-7. So that drive spans 13 plays, and it results in the Texans finding the end zone. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now we get another look at Washington on offense. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
51 yards on the ground for him so far. So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. And not much of an opening there as he's only going to get this to about the 32. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. This is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And quickly, we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. So here we go, Charles, 3rd down. Any chance you're throwing?
I don't think so. I think you got to keep the clock rolling here.
And they, in fact, will throw it. He'll let this thing go for Sanders. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Eric Murray. And the Texans are right back in this football game. So, my goodness, I would have thought this possible not too long ago, but that turnover there means we have a game again.
Yeah, it's been a completely different team here in the 2nd half. I just wonder on the other side of the field, where the starters telling the backups, get ready, you're going to get some playing time. And now guess what? Oh, they didn't cut the tape off of their wrists and ankles. They've got to go back out there and play.
So now the Texans down on the scoreboard. 56 seconds to go. How costly of an interception will that be? It's time to find out. 1st and 10.
back to throw. They'll get this complete to Collins. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
Clock rolling here, about to hit 30 seconds. He'll look to throw. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. Trying to go for the big one there on second down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. They'll look to throw. Connecting with Mixon.
Well, they got the yardage they needed there. Picked up the first down, got out of bounds. How about the urgency that they have, as well as you understand where they are on the field?
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. He's back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
Here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. So after all of this, it comes down to one final play.
And just think of what it's going to be, because from this distance, you've got to be prepared for everything. Hook and laterals, tip balls, you name it. A lot of laterals after a catch. Just got to be prepared, stay on your feet defensively, and tackle someone.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still